Okay, so we'll get started now without wasting more time. Um, Thank you again, for taking the time out on a weekend evening to join the session. So a little background about myself. I have been working for close to about 18 years now, and on VMware Technology, I've been working for close to about, I would say, 14 years now. So I've done a lot of work in VMware. I started off with really old versions, and I'm working on the current version. So I have a good understanding of how VMware portfolio works and how it is all clubbed together. The intention of the call is to basically highlight why you should be basically interested in VMware, why you should be learning VMware. That's the most important question that I would be answering today. And what is that we are going to offer you? So in the next 1 hour, I'm going to talk about that, what is in it for you, why you should be learning VMware, how is it going to help you, and when you join our session, what is that we are going to cover, how it is going to benefit you. So all those things, I'm going to talk about. If you have any questions at any point of time, my request is that you can feel free to unmute yourself and ask the questions as we go along. If you would like to put it on the chat, it's up to your wish. Please feel free. Okay, let's make this conversation interactive. I would love to hear your thoughts. I would love to hear that what is that um, you expect from the session. If there's something which is I do not talk about and you would like to hear more about it, please let me know. I'll be more than happy. Okay. All right. So with that, let me get started now. So first, I would like to talk about that. What is VMware, and is it really relevant now in today's world? Okay. Now, I'm not a presentation guy. I do not make a lot of presentations, but somehow I'm not able to share my screen. Amit, you need to allow me. Uh, I'm unable to share my screen. Okay, thank you. I should have the access now. Yes, I have the access now. Great. Sorry, someone had any question? Okay, I'm muting everyone. Okay. If you have any questions at any point of time, please feel free to unmute. This is just to stop the background noise. All right. So you are seeing my screen. Okay. Good. So first, I would like to talk about that. Is VMware still relevant today? Okay. I believe that you all understand that what VMware is. So if I basically talk about VMware's architecture, all that it is doing for you is that you have, for example, a physical server. Okay, let's say that you have a physical server, and this can be any server, HP, Dell, IBM, Lenovo, you name it, that's a server that you have. Okay. Generally, what would happen is that, on this server, you can only run one operating system. So if you install Windows or if you install Linux, it's only one operating system that you're running on it. Now, with the introduction of VMware, what you basically do is, on this hardware, on this HP or Dell server that you have, you install hypervisor. Okay, so you install hypervisor, and that is basically giving you the functionality to run multiple virtual machines. And what you do is that you install hypervisor directly on the hardware. Like, for example, if I uh, give you a laptop and if I ask you, to install Windows 10 on it, all that you have to do is basically get the Windows 10 operating system and you install it directly on it. Okay. Same would be the, I should say the fundamentals when it comes over here. So when you have to install the hypervisor, you are basically installing it on the hardware directly. There is no middleman in this. Okay. You do not have to make any changes to install the hardware, to install the hypervisor operating system on the hardware. So you're installing it directly. Now, once you have done this, after that, what you need to do is basically create virtual machines. Okay. And all these virtual machines would have their own operating system, their own application. Okay. And then they would work in this fashion. Okay. This is what basically virtualization is doing for you. So basically, virtualization is giving you the flexibility wherein you can run multiple operating systems on one hardware. That is the benefit. Okay. Now, the point is it still relevant today? Now, most of you would already know about it, that you have clouds out there, something called as AWS or Google Cloud or Azure, Oracle Cloud, Alibaba Cloud, IBM Cloud, you name it, and every company is giving out a cloud over there. Okay, so in today's world, should you really be learning VMware? I mean, what is the point of learning in VMware? I mean, why don't you simply learn AWS, and that's the way to keep it. Okay, now there are some subtle differences. Okay, and I would like you to expand your horizon and think about it. Okay, so let me give you a small example. Let's say that you are a big pharmaceutical company. Okay, let's say that you are a big bank. Okay, so in India, there are so many banks out there. You think of any bank that comes to your mind. Now, a bank cannot have all the operations running on the cloud. Okay, I'm not saying that they should not do it or they should do it. I'm not commenting on that. But think about it, a bank cannot basically do away with everything and run everything on the cloud. That is something a bank cannot do. A bank needs to maintain its local environment. And then, of course, there might be few services that they can move to the cloud and they can run it from there. Sure, no concerns at that point of time. But everything cannot be moved. I mean, it's a journey. I mean, you might say that AWS launched in 2006 or 2007. It's been so many years now that they are working on it, and cloud has been out there for more than a decade now. I agree, but still people take time to move to the cloud. Okay, so people do need to maintain the environment. That's the first point, that everyone cannot move the cloud blindly. They have to think about it, take an approach, do a phase migration that takes years to come. Okay. Now, the second point is that when you move to the cloud, the basic difference is that you lose the control. You do not have the control of the hardware or the environment or your data when you're running in the cloud. Now, few clients might be okay with it. Okay. But when you, again, like I mentioned, expand your horizon, when you are a billion-dollar company, okay, you would not you know lose that control. You ought to maintain that control, that nothing is there in your control. So people do would like to maintain the control, that they have an on-prem environment, they know what is running, they know when things are down, what is not working, they have a complete control on it. Okay, on cloud you lose that flexibility, that where the data is. For example, if you choose Mumbai region or Hyderabad region, so you can definitely move everything over there, but where the data is, how it's being looked at. I mean, there's so many questions, open-ended questions. Now, this is something that I read somewhere, that VMware and all its customers combined together, they have close to about 85 million workloads. So think about it. I mean, this number might be, not an exact figure. This is an approximate figure that I'm telling you. This is, I've read somewhere, that VMware has close to about 85 million workloads, which are running um, all around the globe. Now, this is a huge number, 85 million, servers, Windows, Linux machines combined it together, you are running. Okay. Now, VMware customers, expand, huge. I mean, if you go to their website, you would see that, Airtel is their customer. You would see SBI is their customer. Okay, you could have a very small enterprise which only has 2 or 3 ESXis or 2 or 3 servers. They're also VMware customers. So VMware has a huge base of customers, so right from the small ones to the huge customers as well. Okay, in US, if you go to their website, you would find so many other names over there listed as well. Okay, now my point is that VMware is definitely here to stay. 85 million workloads, like I mentioned, just cannot disappear overnight. Okay, if someone says that they are going to disappear overnight, they are absolutely lying. Okay, now this is the first aspect. The second aspect is, whenever a company is not performing well, or if the company is about to die, you know you look at their financial revenue, you look at that how the company is making profit. Okay, now on Google, if you just type VMware revenue, for example, okay, just type VMware revenue, and if you scroll down, you would see this link over here that says VMware revenue. It's a public website, company's market revenue. And if you go over here, Here they basically show you a trend of how VMware has been behaving. Okay, so they started off in 2005 with a revenue of 0.39 billion. Okay, that was their revenue for a financial year. Now you scroll through and you come to the 2023. Fast forward and you come to the present year. Their now revenue is 13.54 billion. And if you look at the trajectory, it is always going in an upward state. It is not coming down. So if a company is about to die, or if a technology is no longer applicable in the market, its revenue should fall. The revenue should not go up. However, over here with VMware case, we see that, the revenue is going up, and you can see the difference in, the percentages. Okay. VMware started off as a company with 2 products. And if I now take you to vmware.com, okay, and I show you the number of products that they have, you will be absolutely amazed to see that, how many products that they have. Okay. So if I show you over here, and if I come down and if I click on see all products that they have, you see over here 177 results. They have 177 products. And the best part is, look at their category. They are into basically everything. You name it and they have an answer for you. Right from AI, ML workloads, right from end user computing, server virtualization, Kubernetes, containers, network. You talk about Velo Cloud, network, ALB, app controllers. You talk about blockchain. You talk about integrated OpenStack. You name a technology, and VMware has an answer for you. Okay. So VMware has actually diversed a lot. So if you are not changing, if you are not making changes, you will surely, die. So VMware did not want to become a dinosaur in the technology company. They absolutely wanted to evolve and, to be very much relevant. And that is why, they have 177 products. That is why their revenue is going up. Okay. Now, VMware also went ahead and did a brilliant move in the market. That was they collaborated with the public clouds. So if I take you over here to products, okay, and if I show you over here, you see these functionalities over here. Alibaba Cloud VMware Service, Azure VMware Solution, Google Cloud, IBM Cloud, Oracle Cloud on AWS. So what this basically means is you can now run VMware on public cloud as well. So it's no longer the affair that you have to run VMware only in your public environment. You can absolutely run it on the public clouds as well. And you name a cloud. Okay. These are all the major players of, cloud, I would say. That, anyone, if you talk about cloud, they would have heard about Alibaba, Azure, Google Cloud, and everyone. So the point is, if you have to run VMware, you can absolutely run it in your private data center as well. If you want to host your own data center, you manage the way you would like to do it, sure, absolutely you can do it. However, if you would like to have a joint approach, so you would like to also maintain your environment, and you also want to take the capabilities of the cloud as well, you can absolutely do it. Okay. And you have the option of which cloud you would like to go ahead with. So you want to go ahead and with AWS, so with Oracle, IBM, Google, Azure, Alibaba, whichever your favorite cloud is, VMware has an option for you and you can go ahead with it. Hey, Ritesh, you have a question? Please go for it, buddy. Okay, let me unmute yourself. Okay, Ritesh, how do I unmute you? Ask to unmute. Okay, I've given you the prompt to unmute yourself. If you have any questions, please feel free. If you don't, that's okay. Okay, I'll take it as a pass for now and I'll move on. Okay, so my point is that, over here, if you would like to maintain your VMware environment and you would like to move it on the cloud, that is something that you can also do as well. And this is, trust me, a very popular move. Now, all the customers who are basically running VMware, the 85 million workloads that I talked about, they have this golden opportunity with them that they can maintain their environment. And if required, they can move few workloads to the cloud. Okay. So let's say that, you are running on a public cloud and set up VMware over here as well. So you have a VMware which is running at your on-prem, and you have a VMware which is running in the cloud. Okay. Be it any cloud provider as you feel like. And now you can link both these environments together. So think about it that you have two sites. You have a site in location A, and then you have a site in location B. And that location B for you could be Azure, could be IBM, could be Google Cloud. Okay. And you can link both those environments together and you can operate from there. So whenever you require, you can run the workloads from your on-prem. And then if required, you can also run your workloads from the cloud. So basically you have the control of where you want to run the workloads and the migration and the connectivity that happens, to migrate the virtual machine. So for example, you have a virtual machine over here, okay? Tomorrow you say that, you want to run it from the cloud. You can absolutely do it. You can absolutely migrate it to the cloud, and this can be done live without any downtime. This can be done live without zero downtime, and you can migrate it to the cloud and you can run it from there. Tomorrow you decide you want to bring back this VM back to your on-prem. Again, you can absolutely do it. You can bring it back to your on-prem and this will be live again. There would be zero downtime. So all this flexibility VMware is giving you. VMware is not, making you a vendor lock-in. Like, you would have heard about it that if you go native to the cloud, you have a possibility that you might not be able to move out from the cloud because you get logged in. Their applications, their databases that you are running, you would only find on that cloud. And when you have to move to the other cloud, then you have to learn their skill sets, their tools, their new database, do everything. Over here, that's not the thing. If you are running VMware at the on-prem, and when you run VMware on the cloud, you basically get the same tools. I mean, there is no difference over there. The stack that you are running at the on-prem and the stack that you're running on the cloud is basically the same. There is absolutely any difference over there. Okay, everything remains the same. So the benefit with VMware is they have evolved. Okay, they have 177 products as we saw. Okay, they are not about to die. Okay, because their revenue is growing. Okay, we see that they are very flexible. You want to maintain it at the on-prem, that's fine. You want to move it to the cloud, that you can something that you can also do as well. And you do not have to reskill yourself. So for example, if I ask you that you have to maintain an Azure environment, now if you like it or not, you have to study Azure. I mean, you can definitely argue that if you have studied one cloud, the other cloud basically operates in the same manner, and you just have to understand few things and you will be good to go. I agree. I mean, that would be the case. But think about it, there are still challenges over there. You still have to understand the nitty-gritty of the other cloud to make sure that you can handle it in an effective manner. With VMware, that's not the case. If you're running at the on-prem or if you're running on the cloud, basically you are getting the same skill. You have the same skill, you get the same software that you have to maintain. There is absolutely no difference. Okay. The other benefit is there is no lock-in. It is not that you go on the cloud and you're getting stuck over there. Now, how do I move out? If you do not like, for example, any public cloud, that you move your VMware workloads, then you're not happy with it, you can always come back to your on-prem. And then tomorrow you can decide that, I did not like, for example, Cloud X. Now I will come back to my on-prem and now I want to move to Cloud Y. I can absolutely do that. You see all these options over here. You have got so many clouds over here. You can pick and choose, whichever cloud vendor is the best for you. You don't like one cloud vendor, that's fine. You come back and you go to the other one. And you do not have to relearn anything. So you have a lot of flexibility that you get, and there's basically no lock-in. Okay. And all of this basically boils down to learning vSphere. So the base technology of whatever I spoke about is the core of the VMware is vSphere. So you talk about, all these products that VMware has, okay? So if I show you over here quickly, so you see over here that, they have networking and security, you have desktop hypervisor, cloud management, anywhere desktop, Tanzu, they've got so many things over here. But what is the foundation? What is that core principle on which everything revolves? It is vSphere, okay? This is basically the base. And then on top of it, you keep building on it. Think about it that this is the base layer of the cake. And then, you can keep adding whichever flavor you like and, how you want to, bake your cake. It is absolutely your wish. But the core component, of baking the cake is vSphere. So this is what, you basically first understand. And then you can, of course, keep learning the new VMware products as you move along. Yeah. Now, our intention over here, so what I've discussed so far is that why you should be learning VMware. Okay. My intention is to basically tell you that, you should not be in that thought of mind that, I should not be learning VMware. VMware is not good for me, or VMware has nothing to offer me. Okay. That's the mindset I would not like you to have. This technology is absolutely irrelevant and it is here to stay. So these were the examples that I gave you. Okay. Okay. Agreed that, this technology is here to stay, and I should learn this technology. The second question comes, what is it in it for you? I mean, how is it going to help you out? Are there jobs out there? Are there people looking for VMware admins? Are there people, who are basically, posting jobs for this technology? Now, I would like to show you that. Okay. So we talked about that why VMware. Now, what is the benefit when you learn VMware? Okay. So LinkedIn is a very popular tool. We all know that, LinkedIn basically gives you a lot of flexibility in terms of, making your professional connections, looking for a job, or whatever you would like to do. Okay. Let me show you real live on LinkedIn that, how many people are basically looking for VMware admin. Okay. So all that you have to do is go to LinkedIn on the search bar that you see over here. Just type hiring VMware. Okay. Just type over here, hiring VMware. And you need to click on this post over here and sort it by latest so that the latest post comes on the top. Now here you would get the post right around the world. If someone has posted in Dubai, in America, in South Africa, wherever the post they might have posted, you would see it over here. Okay. Now we are based in India. Okay, so let's focus on India only. So these jobs, let's say that we do not have the visa, so they might not be the relevant job profiles for us. Fair enough, no problem. So here you see that they have this opportunity over here. Basically, they are hiring for this. If you keep coming down, you would see over here that our team at Cohesity is basically hiring. This is what you are looking at. So you see this person, they are basically hiring for it. If you still keep coming down, then you would see over here that this person is basically hiring for it. Keep coming down, and you would find a lot of posts over here wherein basically people have mentioned that they are looking for VMware admins. Okay. So this is a basically job in US, so this is not going to help us. Okay. You see over here, they're basically hiring for a VMware consultant. So here they're asking for a couple of more technologies. So if you are from a networking background, okay, and if you know VMware, vSAN is a very quick tool to learn. I mean, you can definitely apply for this opportunity. Okay. So you see over here that, again, this is a job in US, so we need to ignore this. Okay, this is again from the US. But the point is, basically, if you keep scrolling down, you would find, jobs over here. You would find posts over here that you can reach out to the people, and you can basically, connect with them and basically, apply for the opportunity. Okay. So you see over here again, oops, so this is the US one, was an interesting one. So you could also apply for these opportunities. You see over here that, this is a job in Doha in Qatar, for example, if you're willing to relocate. Yeah. So, this is the way you can quickly find out, what the jobs are, how people are hiring, and, what the post that they have mentioned over here. And you have a lot of, posts every day, that people are putting. Today being a weekend, you might not see a lot of posts over there. But again, do check it out on a weekday. And I'm very sure that, you would find a lot of opportunities over here that, that you have. Yeah. Now, there is one more way that you can also look for the VMware jobs is basically when you just type in VMware. Okay, hit the enter key. And instead of post, you basically switch it to jobs. Okay. And basically, if you look for the jobs that have been posted in last 24 hours, it basically shows you 1,000 results. Okay. So you see that, Accenture, everyone knows about Accenture, a giant in technology, is basically hiring for VMware administrators, so many opportunities that they have listed. So they have listed everywhere. So basically it is Gurugram, and then they have also posted where Bangalore, Mumbai, Pune. There are so many opportunities, Noida, Hyderabad. So many companies are basically hiring for VMware administrators, and it's only the first page. if you keep scrolling down, you would find so many, jobs available. You see Infosys is hiring. Okay. So yeah. So my point is, you have a lot of, VMware technology which is still relevant. When you learn the technology, it's not that, you are wasting your time. Absolutely not. You have so many companies who are basically looking for it, and you can absolutely apply for them. Okay. So this is the way that can also help you. So for example, let's say that, you might say that Red Hat is a Linux company altogether. It's a Linux different company altogether. But if you know VMware, of course, it is going to help you as well. Okay. Because um, Linux definitely works on a VMware, and you can absolutely run your environment. Okay. Because that's a platform. Okay. So you have got so many companies, who are basically, out there looking for jobs, and you can also type over here, for example, VMware admin, if you would like to refine your job. Okay. You can also mention over here as VMware admin, so many options are there. My point is, you have the opportunity, the profile is relevant, and it's going to help you. Okay. Now the next question comes, okay, I understand that VMware is relevant. There are jobs available for work Linux VM. Hey, I did not get your question on the chat. Can you please elaborate? I mean, if I get your question, if you would like to run Linux on VMware, absolutely you can do that. So you can create a Red Hat CentOS. You can absolutely run it on a ESXi. So that's no problem. So if you have to install a Windows operating system, or if you want to install a Linux operating system, that is something that you can absolutely do. Okay. So I spoke about that, why you should be learning VMware. Once you learn VMware, are there any jobs available? Yes, definitely jobs are available. Okay. And the next thing that I would like to talk about is basically what we are going to cover in this course. Okay. So in this module of ours, in the training of ours, what we're going to cover is basically when you go to Google and you just type VMware vSphere 8 ICM. ICM basically stands for install, configure, manage. Okay, you look at this URL, VMware vSphere install, configure, manage. Okay, and this is basically the course, that they are saying, okay, let me find it in a pleasant way, in a pretty format. This is not, yeah, this is the new website where they have it in a pretty format. Okay, let me look for vSphere 8 over here. Okay, the page is not working. That's good to know. Okay, let me try it again over here. It could be a browser thing. Yeah, this one. Yeah, this is the one. So what we are going to cover in our course is basically vSphere ICM, that is install, configure, manage, and we are going to learn version 8, which is the latest one. Now, these are the objectives that you're going to achieve. Now here they've given you an outline, basically what you will be learning. So if I go over here, they will basically begin by an overview, then how to configure your ESXi, how to manage all those ESXis. You have a vCenter, then how do you set up networking, storage, how do you get the virtual machines to interact, how do you manage them, then you jump to the clusters, setting up the high availability vMotioning, and then how do you manage and upgrade and patch your environment. Okay. So whatever they have mentioned over here, everything we are going to cover in our training. There is nothing that we're going to leave out. Okay. This is a 5-day official training. Okay. This is basically 9 to 5. If you go for an official training, that would be it. But again, we would not be doing in 5 days. We would be basically doing it over 14 to 16 classes on weekends. And here, I would really break down things for you, talk about what everything means, what does the word appliance mean, and, basically talk about anything and everything, and show you everything in my lab. Yeah. So I have a good lab to basically demo all the environments. Let me quickly show you my lab as well. So how I'm going to do all my practicals. So I have a server on which I've installed ESXi directly. And if I log into my server and show you the configuration that I have, um, It is basically having a good core. It has basically a good Intel Xeon processor. I have 256 GB of RAM. I have a good 3 terabyte of SSD hard drive. So yeah, I would be able to basically do all these practicals for you. So basically, I create virtual ESXIs and show you that how they interconnect, how the ESXi installation would happen, and I would basically do everything that. Okay, and I would also be covering all these points over here. So whatever they have mentioned, I would also be talking about few things that they have not mentioned over here, and I think which are important. We would be absolutely covering those as well. Okay. I have been giving trainings for a very long time now. I mean, I started giving training in 2015, and I've been giving it for many years now. And as I mentioned earlier also, that I still today work on VMware technology. Okay. If you ask me to teach you to teach you AWS or to teach you Google or IBM, sorry, I would not be able to do that because I only look at VMware. I mean, my I should say core is VMware, and I only teach VMware. Yeah, because I still work on the technology. Okay, so I know VMware, I know how it works, and I've been doing this for a very long time. So I think when you join my training, you would absolutely not be in a state of mind that you don't get anything or what is happening, you're not sure about it. I will basically break down things for you and teach you in an absolutely structured way and go in the basics so that you understand everything. Okay. And absolutely, when you learn the technology, then you have absolutely so many options available, that you can apply for the opportunities, and you can apply for them. So many options are out there. So this is if I do in a past month, then you say that there are basically so many opportunities only in India, that you have and that you can apply for. Okay. So yeah, you see VMware consultant, cloud admin, L3 VMware admin, VMware administrator. So yeah, so many things are over here. Entity data entity is a very good brand name. Norvin Technologies, this is a good company. See so many options they have over here. You can. This is the one that you would like to apply after this training, and I am very sure that you would be able to get through. Now, if I talk about course duration is basically generally I would say 2 months. Okay, we would basically have the classes on weekends, and it will be a 3-hour class on a Saturday, and it will be a 3-hour class on a Sunday. So basically, in 1 week, we study for 6 hours. Okay, and we basically study for 6 to 7 weeks. Okay, this is what we do. Okay, and for fees, I am not the right person. Basically, you should reach out to Amit. I hope everyone has his phone number. You can reach out to him, and he would be able to tell you that when the batch begins or what is the fees. He would be the right person to answer that question. Anything related to course, I would be able to do that. Yeah. When it comes to lab, we can definitely look into it. If you need a lab, we can give you lab access. A few folks already have the labs and they don't need it. So we can definitely talk about that. That should not be a concern as well. Okay. So yeah, this is what what we are going to do. This is how we are going to cover. And I absolutely feel that after doing this course, um, you know you would be able to get yourself a hike. um, any project exposure, definitely. I mean, I would not be able to give you any real-time projects, but I can definitely share my experience with you that what you need to do in these circumstances. Or if you would like to, I can give you an approach. I can tell you on how a project works. How do you begin from A to Z? So Arvind, to answer your question, we can definitely do that. So if this is, for example, if you have to migrate from an old cluster to a new cluster, how would you do that? What is the things that you will be considering? Why would you be migrating? What would be the reason behind it? So we will basically deep do a discussion on every project. So when it comes to migration, building, setting up technologies, what is the best practice, how you should be doing it. So we will be basically talking about all of this. Arvind, I hope that answers your question. If not, buddy, please feel free to type it on the chat. Yeah, you can absolutely, create your own lab as well. No problems over here. And I would be more than happy to show you then how you can do that. You have multiple ways. You can either do it on a VMware workstation, or you could do it like I have done, that installed ESXi directly on the hardware, and then build a virtual ESXi, and then establish the communication. And then if you want to do all that, I'll be more than happy to basically demo and to show it to you then on how you can also do that. No concerns over there. That should be absolutely fine. Okay. Okay. Do you have any idea in US right now how we will get the job only with VMware knowledge? I mean, Jyoti, are you in US? If you are in US, after this course, you will absolutely be able to get a lot of jobs over there. Okay.
Sure. Thank you so much. Thanks for the answer. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, shifting from India to US, I mean, visa would be a lot of problem. That is something I don't think so that will be easy for you to move over. But if you are in US, you have a valid work visa. After this opportunity, trust me, you have in US so many opportunities, and they also have a culture of remote work over there. In India, you still have few companies who basically ask you to come come to office and all that. But in US, I think it will be a very good option for you to land, into a job. And I'll be honest with you that in US it should be relatively simple. There shouldn't be any concerns.
Thank you so much. Right now I'm in US, so I don't know the
Great.
market how it is going, and so I'm
Oh, in
confirmed.
US it is absolutely great. I mean, if I talk about, there are so many opportunities that come in US. You can apply filters, and you can create job alerts for you. I can definitely, just like I was showing it to over here to you. If you type over here United States, I mean, yeah, that should be it. So yeah, here you would find so many opportunities over here. So you can apply for all these opportunities. And after this course, I'm very sure that, whatever I teach you, it should be, you just need to practice. And after this, Jyoti, I'm very sure that, you will be in.
Thank you so much. Yeah.
No problem.
Yeah.
So great. Other question Mahesh has is, what is ESXi? ESXi is basically the hypervisor on which the VMware is running. AirWatch is a different product altogether. So ESXi basically gives you the functionality. So if I show you the ESX, or maybe let me quickly draw the ESXi architecture. So basically you have a physical machine. Let's say this is a physical machine that you have. Okay. This could be an HP server, Dell server, IBM, Lenovo, Fujitsu, whichever company that comes to your mind, think about it. This is the server that you have. Now on this server, you would have CPU, you would have RAM, you would have network cards, you would have hard drive, you would have all those good components over there. Now, after this, what you do is basically you install ESXi, the hypervisor, directly on it. Okay. So you have the physical server, you install ESXi directly on it. After installing the hypervisor, what you do is you create virtual machines. So example, you create VM01. Here it has dedicated operating system, dedicated application. Now this could be a Windows or a Linux, it could be Nginx, Apache, whatever you feel like. And then you could have another VM over here, VM02. And then you could have Windows running over here, you could have IIS as an application running over here. So this is what basically the architecture will look like. So physical box, you install the ESXi, create the virtual machines, and boom, there you go. This is how it will be. Okay. So Mahesh, if I haven't answered your question, if there's something else that you were looking at, buddy, please feel free to type into the chat. Okay. What is the type 1, type 2 hypervisor? That basically, Deepak, depends on that what kind of hardware you have. So a type 1 hypervisor is wherein an ESXi is a complete operating system, okay? And you install it directly on the hardware. So this is a type 1 hypervisor, okay? If I talk about a type 2 hypervisor, think about it as an application. So it is an exe file, okay? So if I tell you that on the Windows 10 laptop, I have to watch a movie, which software should I download to watch a movie? So you would say that, VLC is a software, you can download it. It is an exe file, just run it, and then you can watch a movie. Similarly would be the case with a type 2 hypervisor. So what you will do is, if I change it over here, you have a physical machine, HP, Dell, IBM server. Now what you do is you install Windows operating system or a Linux operating system on it. Then you install VMware Workstation on it, which is a type 2. Okay. And then you create virtual machines on it. This is what a type 2 architecture will look like. This is not recommended in production. This is only recommended for a lab, testing, all those sort of things. This is an architecture to look at. In type 1 is always recommended in production. So where on the server directly you install the ESXi. Okay. Deepak, I hope I answered your question. If not, buddy, please feel free to type it in the chat. I have a system with 1 terabyte of hard drive and 8 GB of RAM. Will I be able to install the lab? No, you would not be able to do that. That's a very low RAM. You absolutely need 64 GB of RAM or at least 50 GB of RAM to get to do the practicals, bare minimum. Okay, so this is what you are basically looking at. Yeah, so AirWatch is an MDM mobile device management, I agree, but this is not getting covered in this course. Okay, this course is basically all about the core, ESXi, vSphere, and MDM is basically we would not be covering in this course over here. Okay, all right. Any other question? If anyone would like to ask something, feel free to unmute yourself and feel free to basically ask your question. So again, my intention is basically to tell you that, you should definitely learn VMware. It is going to help you. I showed you the examples that how it is going to help you. It is going to give you a salary hike. End of the day, when you learn any technology, when you're trying to learn something new, we always ask the question, what is in it for me? I mean, why should I be doing this? Absolutely, VMware is a compelling reason that will definitely get you a hike. Okay, there are so many opportunities out there. VMware as a company is not going to die. It is here to stay. Okay, so for example, if someone says that should I learn Linux? I mean, absolutely you should learn Linux. I mean, there's no questions about it. Should I learn networking? Absolutely you should learn networking. I mean, networking, Linux, I mean, these technologies are here to stay. They're not going to go away. Same is the case with the virtualization. It is not going away. It is here to stay. Okay. So if you learn about it, it is absolutely going to help you in your current organization. Okay. Okay, great. So
Vaibhav?
that was, yeah, go for it.
Yeah, yep. So, see, I have a low configuration laptop with me. So, how do I can actually how you will be giving access to the lab in that case?
So this is something that we can talk about it. So what we can do is, we have a desktop, that we can share with you over, these remote tools. So for example, Zoom, it could be, any other software, and you could, then take the access and work on it. That should be okay.
Okay, and one more thing, sorry. Since you're actually working, you are already working with VMware, right? So, like you know, uh, after completing this course test, we will be able to crack an interview by using this. Or,
Sure. So I would not be helping you as a proxy. I mean, a lot of people out there, do a proxy thing. That is something I will not do, but I would prepare you for the course. Okay.
yes.
On how to crack the interview, you can do it on your own. That is very simple because all the interviewer is going to ask you is about the scenarios that if this situation comes, how are you going to handle it? What is that you're going to do? This is what basically interviewer is looking at. They're trying to judge that, how knowledgeable you are on the technology, what is the approach that you're going to take. Okay, nobody is 100%. I mean, if you ask me right now that, would you be able to make sure that my environment never goes down? Absolutely not. I mean, I cannot guarantee you that. Environment is there, it will go down, things will break. But a job of an admin is to make sure that you know how to keep the environment up, how to keep the lights on. If things go sideways, how do you get things back to work? I mean, this is what the job is. So yeah, if you know the technology, it'll be easier for you to, answer those questions. This is the approach that I would take. This is what I will do. This is how I would behave, in this situation. Yeah, so that's all those things, we are going to cover in our course. That shouldn't be a concern.
Okay, and are we going to cover vMotion and all?
Absolutely, anything and everything. So like I talked
Okay.
about, um, let me, so all these technologies over here that are mentioned in the course, we are going to cover anything and everything about it. So how vMotion works, how storage works, how the connectivity happens, what is this vMotion, storage vMotion, data store cluster, why should be creating it, how HA works. So when I teach you something, I always teach you that how it works in the backend. So when you hit the button, what is happening in the background, that is something which is important and you need to learn. Okay. Thank you, Arvind. Thank you for joining the call, buddy. So it is important for you, to understand basically how things are working in the background. Just hitting the button, enabling the functionality is not good enough. You need to know that what is happening in the background. Once you get to know that what happened in the backend, it will be very easy for you to troubleshoot, very easy to to virtualize or to conceptualize, I should say, that how things work. If things are not working, what should I do? So that would help you a lot. So all those things I would be doing. So whatever is mentioned over here, absolutely we would be talking about it and be going beyond that as well.
Thanks, Saida.
Yeah, no problem. Anyone else, guys? If you have any other question, please feel free. Okay, so if no other questions, I think yeah, that's about it for this course. That I wanted to give you a quick demo on what we are going to do, how VMware as a technology can get you your next hike, I should say, can get you your next raise. And I think as a technology, it is here to stay. It is not going to go away. Okay. I would like to thank you, all of you, for taking the time out on a weekend evening. Thank you for joining the session. I hope it has been informative for you. And I would absolutely love to see you in the batch. Thank you all.
Sure. Thank you so much. Yeah.